Here is a new button on the Modify pattern page. It says Start End. Now what does this do? Well, I will show you. I brought up two patterns here. This pattern is one of Kathy Olsen's, and the start end point is in a really funny place. And now I want to change it to here, and it's an easy job with this start end button. So what I'm going to do is touch Start End, and you can see a little arrow has popped up showing you which way this would stitch out, showing the start is here and it will go this way. I want it to start here, this pattern, so all I'm going to do is touch right there, and you can see the start end point has moved. I could touch anywhere on this pattern and it'll move. It still keeps the original one there until I tell it I'm finished. So that's, if you want to get really accurate, you can zoom right in. So that's a pretty useful button, that, for changing the start end point. Now this pattern, I'm going to do the same thing again. First of all, I have to select that pattern so that I can work on it. Oh, and just before we go over here, see when I deselected this, now the original start end has disappeared and my new one is the only one that's there on the pattern. Anyway, this pattern here, the start end point is here and I want to make it down here. So I'm going to touch Start End. Watch again. I'm going to touch Start End. In fact, let me zoom in so you can see better. So just touch Start End. I don't see a little arrow, all I see is the S and E switching places. And now I'm zoomed in, I can see why. Because there is a little tiny gap, and I'll zoom in some more, between the start and the end point. Now if I want to change the position of the start end point, I have to close up that gap first. So I'm going to touch Finished, and I'm going to go to Split Pattern, and now I'm going to zoom in on this flower, and I'm going to split. Doesn't really matter where, I'm going to split there. I'm going to split, created a new start end point. Now I'm going to go Modify Pattern. The one I want to modify is this. Touch and Continue. And now I'm going to stretch. So I'm going to touch Stretch. I'm going to go up here, anchor that point that's already joined on, drag the other point until it snaps to there. Now I've closed up that gap, so I'm finished. Now I have to combine, so I'm finished here because I'm back at the split pattern page. Finished. Now I'm going to combine. I'm going to zoom in. Turn the zoom off. First pattern to combine, this one. Second, continue. This one, continue. Now I'm finished. Now I can go to Modify Pattern. Select the pattern I want to modify. This is the one where I want to change the position of the start end point. Continue. And now I can touch Start End. The little green arrow has popped up. Let me zoom in so you can see that, showing you the direction of the stitching. I want to change the start end point to right at the tip. So I'm finished. Now when I touch Modify Pattern, you'll see the start end point has changed to the tip of that petal. So that start end point selection button is very useful. You can just quickly change the start end point so that you can make two patterns join up, or if you don't like where they start, you just change it. So I hope that was clear. Play around with it, have fun.